I'd like to invite Dr. Fedipo.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Amazing afternoon to all of us. Generous billionaires in the house. Let's greet two people. Look for two people you didn't see last month first before you greet the ones you saw last month. Thank you. Welcome, generous billionaires. When it was told the story of Cybex and all this, I hope nobody among us is there. So, there are three sets of people in Nigeria. The three W's. There are people who call the wasters. They will tell you any money, they say money doesn't buy happiness. So what they do is they throw the money around looking for happiness, and the happiness keep eluding them. You have another set of people, the warriors. Money doesn't grow on trees. So they keep their money and they are miserable with the money. And because they've said the money doesn't grow on tree, the money will not grow. Here we have winners here, last set of people. The billionaires that are winners. We know money do buy happiness because there are things that you buy and they give you happiness. At least all of us that are married, by the time you get alert to your wife, there's a smile that comes, that only alert can give you those smiles. How many of us have seen those smiles before? Where people that are married understand those kind of alert. There's some holidays you go, when you come by, the way madam greet you is different from the other greeting you behind. Those things buy happiness. The things you buy for your children, they are wonderful things you buy, and you can see on their face that this money has brought this happiness. So money do buy things that give happiness. And there are people that we know that money do grow on trees, because of course they do grow. And we know here we are told how to cultivate those trees so that your money grow on their own. Whether you sleep, you travel, you are in a meeting, every day your money grow. Not everybody is lucky to know all these things. And that's where we know we are the luckiest people in this place, in Lagos, to be always coming here every month to hear wonderful things that are hidden for a lot of people, things that people don't know. And that's why they go to Cybex. Somebody dropped 2,000 naira and they want to be. I don't know how much they give them. There was when I left medical school, there was one they call money Pennywise. I cannot forget. Well, all of us in UCH, as we collected salary, people went to go and drop their money in Pennywise. And of course, we shouldn't have put our money there. When somebody is Pennywise, maybe it was pounds, all of us were pound foolish. And they went with a lot of money there. And then I was not coming to 110 Academy, so I joined them. And they thought, but now I'm in other technology, I know there are better places to put my money. So I don't know whether it's somebody that have an experience to share with us. Not Cybex. We don't want Cybex experience. Please keep that out to yourself. So we have one person that wants something to just share with us as you have been coming here because today is going to be a massive money market. And I know everybody that come here, you will really enjoy why money do grow and your money will start to grow. Let me start with you. Thank you. Just
my experience.
Your experience.
Good afternoon, General Billionaire.
Good afternoon, sir.
Well, I've been coming to 110 Academy for a while. Though this is my first time in this building, this particular building. But one of the beauty of coming here, one of the things I've enjoyed here is the wealth of knowledge shared here. But especially before now, I don't appreciate the power of gratitude. But if there is one of the things I've learned here, attending 110 Academy is how to appreciate what you have, because there are a lot of people who are dreaming about it. Again, then the level of information that is passed is amazing. It's beyond what you can comprehend. That is on the platform. Every time books are shared, so you can't. I don't think I belong to any WhatsApp group that is so rich in terms of content. And the people that are here that are trainers, that train us, because I've been attending close to 2 years, if not 2 years. They are people who know what they are doing, they are professionals. So I can say I'm in the right building, and that is why I keep coming. So even though I said this is my first time here, but I know about this. This should be the maybe fourth. I've attended other 10 academy this year at the other venue that they used. So, but I think this is still June, so I'm still consistent. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You know, there's nobody that come there that your life will be the same. Except as long as you come here, you have told yourself, I want to join the clique. You're already in the number. You cannot remain the same. Look at what he said. He said the quality of information here is amazing. You can't get them anywhere. There's no other group you can get that kind of information. And he mentioned the power of gratitude. If you are not grateful, you are grateful. And it's wonderful to be alive today. It's amazing to be in this building. And I can assure you, you are going to be blessed today. I don't know whether we have one more person before I introduce Dr. Bola. Another person to share with us. Okay. Anytime I'm coming here, I'm coming to recharge. I use this place to calibrate myself. As I've said it before, whenever as of today now, there was a target I set when I was going last month. So I will check how far I've gone. Then maybe I come again and see where, because all of us were here last, how many of us were here last December? And we have told the universe what we wanted. And we have to be focused. We are going towards it. So this is time for me to check it. I see how far I've gone and I know where I am. So please, anytime you are coming here, you are going to come here to get something special. And I can assure you, our teacher is well prepared. He has spent tedious time getting those information for us. And luckily, it's what he does. You know, when you do something, it's easier to say it than what you read about. We have a amazing teacher here, and Dr. Bola is the medical director, and he's medical director, entrepreneur, and speaker. He's dedicated to transforming healthcare in Africa. He owns MBBS from University of Ibadan and UCH. He has certification from Global Health in Washington and WHO. The chief medical director presently and the CEO of Ceylon Group of Hospitals with 2 branches in Lagos, and those places do amazing business. I was a friend of mine was in one of the branches. He called me. Is this your friend that holds this source? Because he saw the kind of thing. I said, he cannot have anything less than that, because he's loaded and he knows how to attract those customers. He's also the co-founder of ACE, that's Accessible Care for Everyone initiative. At least a part of this, we do free surgery for people every year, funded by him. We do free medical service for pregnant women. It's an amazing one. He's also, next slide please. He is a passionate advocate of maternal and child health, as I've said. Free medical. If you come here, any pregnant woman, just come, free registration, sponsored by ACE. They offer subsidized education, subsidized care, empowerment through Ceylon Medical Center. Beyond medicine, Dr. Yusuf Bola is a renowned speaker, and he's a business coach and facilitator on platforms such as Here 110 Academy and African Business Summit. He specializes in personal development, entrepreneurship, mindset transformation. Is very good at that. You can't be with Yusuf and your life remain the same. It transform your mindset, transform your thinking, and your life cannot be the same. And I can show you today, Dr. Bola seamlessly integrates healthcare innovation, leadership, and philanthropy, and it makes lasting impact on individuals and community alike. And I can tell you, today we are going to be transformed by people. Welcome, Dr. Bola.
Thank you very much. Please, you can be seated. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Month. Yeah, I was saying that I told myself that I will not talk about CBEX until the end. But apparently, that's all we're talking about. Yeah, there's a book that the president wrote about what I want my child to know about growing money trees. And I think it's a book that if you have not read before, you should read. And there's another one, Love Yourself, Pay Yourself First. If you have not also read that book, you should read that book. In the book, Love Yourself, Pay Yourself First, there's a story. It said the story was told by Elle Nightingale, and this is the simple story. The father was seated in the sitting room and was watching football. For those of you that love football, I'm sure you know what it means when your team is playing. Probably your team is losing. And then there's one boy trying to get your attention that look at my toy, look at the toy car, look at the lights, look at the way it's moving. The father did not pay him any attention. After the boy had tried and tried, then the boy went and switched off the TV. When I read that part, I was like, I don't think I can ever do that because I'm not sure what will happen to me after that. But right now, I know the kids now can do that, nothing will happen. So the boy did that, and the father stopped and looked at the boy. I'm sure he thought, what can I do to this boy? So he went around, picked a magazine, flipped through the pages, saw the page of the map of the world. He took it and used scissors to cut it into pieces and told him, go and put it together with a sellotape, believing that before this guy can figure this thing out, I would have finished my football match. But 5 minutes later, the boy appeared. He has put them together and it was correct. Then the father asked, how did you do this? The boy said, on the other page is a picture of a man. So all he had to do was to put the man together. That by putting the picture of the man together, then the world came together. And the man was inspired and said, the truth is, if the man is together, his world will be together. Do you understand? And that's what we are here to talk about. That means that for every man, you have the responsibility to put you together. If you put you together, you put your world together. And one of the skills to learn, one of the things to learn and to master is your finance. Because if you put your finance together, probably every other thing will be together. Money answers a lot of things, if not all things, right? Yes, so it's important. And we also know in personal development, we also know in life management, a skill in managing one aspect of your life increases your chances of mastering the other aspects of life, right? So it's very important that we're talking about this today because it's not just about earning money. It's also about how you ensure that your money grows and possibly your money works for you. So first slide, why are we talking about this? Growing up, and I think in some families, maybe probably all families, there's somebody you knew growing up who had a lot of money, right? And in some cases, you are grown now and they don't have money anymore. The Yorubas will call alowo tele. Now, there are different factors for different people, don't get me wrong. But probably not mastering this is one of it. Because there was a time inflow was a lot, but they did not manage it well and did not invest properly. And when the inflow from probably that business dried up, everything dried up. Do you understand? So learning this, mastering this, and making a commitment to do something about this is such that your story will not be you had money at a time or you started to have money and then there's nothing again. Also, it helps liberate you from the trap of living paycheck to paycheck. For every one of us, when we first started to earn, all you spent was from what you're earning, right? So once you collect your salary, that's how you earn. That's how you, it's from that you spend. And then the next month, then the next month. But if you are going to learn the skill we're going to talk about this morning, yes, you might be at that point right now. But gradually, you are going to liberate yourself from living paycheck to paycheck. And of course, the opportunities that have come our way, I'm sure every one of us, especially those of us that have done business, that we couldn't take those opportunities because we didn't have the money for it. One of the things we encourage is actually, as much as possible, if it lies within your power, you don't look at going to the banks for a loan. You know, the president says that when there's an opportunity where you need money for, is present, it's you meet the opportunity, the opportunity meets you. It means that the time to save for that money has passed. It meant that you should have been saving long before now. So it's important to have this because opportunities will come. But the beautiful thing is that the way the life is, as the world goes round, so also even if you have missed opportunities in the past, please don't wallow in self-pity or be sad. Opportunities are coming again. The thing to now do is to make sure that you are well prepared for the next time it's coming. It might not be the same, probably will not be the same, it might not be in the same format, but opportunities are always coming. And then it's those who has prepared for it. You know, when you say opportunity means preparation, that's the definition of luck. So if you ever hear that guy is lucky, it's not the kind of luck that the world thinks. It's because he was prepared. He might not know what he was preparing for, but he was already prepared. So when the opportunity came, he had possibly money in his savings to take that opportunity and make good of it. Probably has studied and learned something around that, and then looks at that guy is lucky. We all write our own luck. And then lastly, is for us to understand how money market actually offers us low risk returns. The difference between money market and CBEX is, sorry, it might appear that I'm going to knock the nail, but it's the latest example. MMM came also, and CBEX just like MMM, but they now told us it's Bitcoin, and they came and took the money. So the interesting thing about, and the reason why we're talking about money market is the fact that it offers low risk returns, and we're going to talk about that. Now, I put a quote here, and this quote is also from this book, Richest Man in Babylon. If you've not read that book, please go and read it. It talks about, I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned is mine to keep. And in the book, Love Yourself, Pay Yourself First, it was explained to us that the money that is yours to keep is the money you save. Do you understand? So if you get your salary and let's say 60% of what you earn actually goes to food stuff and maintaining the home and all of that, the money you pay to the meat seller is the meat seller's money. It's not your money. You understand? The money you pay to the guys that supplies water, the money you pay for electricity, the money you pay for different things, that money belongs to the person you have paid. The money that is yours to keep is the money you actually save. And think about it. You can't be wealthy if you don't have money saved that is your own. When we talk about the wealthiest men in the world, it's a combination of what they have liquid and also what they are worth. We talk about net worth. So all the things they own, when they convert it or they look at the value, evaluation of that is how they calculate that. So what you keep is actually yours, and the money you actually keep, either liquid or in terms of also other investments. And in this session, we're going to be covering the mindset and the habits of saving. One thing I know about saving is it's a mindset. I don't have a problem saving right now, but there was a time I had a problem saving. Okay, let's go to story. When I finished medical school, you know the interesting thing about all medical doctors, you see that house job here, they used to pay us well. Well, now I don't know about people, they still pay more than when you are going for NYC. As in, imagine you come out of school, you are paid well 1 year, then the next year the money just comes down. But anyway, I did my house job in National Hospital Abuja. That was that year that I knew about Calabar Kitchen. And that was the year I was introduced to any form of soup in any part of Nigeria. So now I've tasted probably almost every, because I had money and I had no responsibility. And I've probably suffered a lot in my life. And my own response is to enjoy. So I started off. We'll go, the portion of the swallow is small, either pounded yam or whatever. But you see, the protein, they use a separate bowl for the protein. Your soup is one bowl. The protein is in another bowl. If it's meat, they'll cut the meat. I don't know how we're eating them. You quickly eat the swallow, you now balance with the protein. Right? And interesting, I wasn't planning, but I'll get. So when it was now, I think 7 months gone, or 8 months, and that's when I realized that some of my mates who had a goal, and that's, I'm going to talk about, to save, you actually have a goal. They had plans to travel, to do masters. So in their school, you know, they came from the one school, I won't mention their school, they've already had that plan. So their parents already told them that this year, save 1 million. If you save 1 million, I will match your 1 million. One particular person. So after 7 or 8 months, or 9 months, remain 3 months, no, 8 months, the guy, we're now talking, now say he had a savings of 1 million. Me, I had 250,000. I had 250. And the month, as we are practically finished. I now say, what? You know what happens? There's an opportunity, but sometimes bad opportunities will come. What you're thinking about. One young lady now came, beautiful lady, that you can come and save with them. They'll give us 20% interest every month. Every month. I can still remember. I now gave 150 out of the 250. So 20% on 150 is 30,000 that you give them for 3 months. That's 8 months, so it remains 4 months. That you give them for 3 months. So first month, she brought 30,000. I called my classmates, those of us that used to go and eat the food. That was not the only thing we spent money on, but that was just, so they joined. I was one that brought them. They joined my second month. I collected. I said, she said, you can add more money. You collect more. I added more money. I added another 100K of the 250, but I saved some other, because now I was not saving. So they gave me money. After the 3rd month, okay, so bring my 150. Different stories. So now saying what happened was that the guy was using the money for Forex. That's why you could give us the interest. But now he made a silly decision to go and invest in real estate. So he's trying to sell off some of the assets that no problem. So we're always asking, that's okay, there's a meeting for everybody to come and meet the guy. When I got there, I'm sure we're more than 200. The guy didn't come. Someone came to our desk. So I and my friends, I remember, we sat down at the back. You know that theater kind of hall, like a lecture hall. So we sat down at the back. Different people were coming to talk. They were upset. And all. One collected, was in charge of the salary. You understand? So he collected it to fix it, collect the money after 3 months. When they called some figures. At the point, I looked at my friend. How much did you drop? 100K. I don't know. My waist 250. Let's go. No jokes. We just said, let's go. When they were mentioning millions, like they're returning money before they get. Interestingly. But why did I fall into that? Because I didn't have the mindset to save the way I'm supposed to save. I didn't even set the goal that this year that I'm going to make money, I should save. Now, because I did not save, and now discovered I needed money, I was looking for high interest. You understand? High yield. And then the opportunity came, but I was not lucky. So that's the first time of many times I lost money in this my journey. We'll tell you the other ones later, but not today. But so that same person who was spending his money, when I got to NYC, now I've had the experience. Now NYC money is very small compared to what I was earning. And I had to sit down and said, it's not good if I continue like this. Because naturally, everybody will be sad that I was earning then in 2008 or 09, it was 140 something thousand they were paying us. You understand? So you can imagine how much I blew money then. But I now thought about that I need to start saving because I think 3 months into NYSC, so my dad was doing something and I felt that I should be able to contribute, but I couldn't contribute. After the 1 year away. So I now said, no, I have to. So my first goal was to now gather money to give to him. And then I did that and I was able to do it. And from that time, what the book taught us, whatever I earn, I put some money aside and save. But we'll still get there. But it's just to show you that, see, all we need to change is the mindset. The same person in 1 year that blew through all his earnings, the second year did not earn as much as the initial year, but I saved more in the second year compared to the first one. Because that same 1 million that they didn't tell me to save 1 million, but my colleagues saved. In the second year, when I was earning a third of what I was earning, then I was able to save that same 1 million. What changed is the mindset. And the mindset changed because of the things I suffered. So we don't expect anybody here to have gone into CBEX, but we are streaming and people will watch. If you are falling short of that, there's no point beating up yourself. What has happened has happened. But today, we are going to teach you how to recalibrate your mind such that every portion of what you earn, you actually save. Then we're going to talk about practical money market strategies. Today, we'll talk about a bit of this before. The president even talks a lot about mutual funds and all. We're going to talk about that so we understand it a bit better. And then we believe that will also help you because it's not just, it's good. You need to even understand it well enough to know where to start from and how to go about it. And then, of course, the steps you need to start trading profitably. I'm not a trade expert, you understand? So the level at which I think should be okay for everybody, we'll talk about it, but you can always take it any further. But like I said, we're talking about money market, and I'll speak a bit more on why we're just focusing on that. So what are the mental blocks to savings? What are the major? We looked at the top 3 reasons why people don't save. And the first one, most people will tell you, first one why sometimes we struggle is that we don't even earn enough. And I'm sure you must have heard that. I don't earn enough. You are telling me to save part of it. There's something Dr. Olamito said once, and I think he said it more than one time, that the money is not enough, right? As it is, it's not enough. If you spend everything, it is not enough. If you take part of it out, it is still not enough. But now it's not enough, but you are now saving. Do you understand it? Why not then just save, even though it's not enough? It's not that it was enough, but if you now take part of it, it will not be enough. It's already not enough. Yes, in the first place. And what we are talking about is that taking a part out of it actually promises the fact that you are going to earn more. And we'll speak to that. Second is that I will start later. With everything, if you don't set a time in your mind, you probably will not do it. And I'm sure we all have our experiences. There's so many that sometimes I want to do something, 6 months will pass. I've not done it because I did not sit down to say, on this day, I want to start. Or to even learn enough about that thing to actually start. And then, like we teach, even in businesses, and I'm going to say that, you have an idea. You're looking, okay, this idea, this idea will work, but I need to fine tune it and all that. I think the advice now is that for you to just start. Start, figure it out as you're going. Because it's better you start. It might not fit very well, you understand, and you figure it down, say, okay, until I want it to be perfect. And it might never become perfect enough for you to start. And then there is nothing. And you know that whatever you start, and you apply the principles here of personal development, studying it, sometimes even interning. Like if you want to start an idea, you've started already when you find someone you can intern with. I know it's so easy now that because of the way the world is, you can identify people who are doing what you're already doing anywhere in the world. And sometimes you can come and say, because if I come to you and say, I'm free, I want to give you free labor just to learn what you are doing, you probably would accept me, especially if I'm not a threat to your business. Probably accept. I'm free, it's free labor, but I'm also getting free experience. I'm learning. Like we talk about, I need capital to do this, I need capital. No, knowledge is the first capital we need. In fact, capital, that's what I call it, that's cash, is the lowest form of capital. I think there was a video on the group where Cosmos, the owner of Costaris, I don't know, I think it was in our group where he talked about different types of capital, the 5 types of capital. Cash was the last, you understand? So I have an idea. I want to do this. Is in fact, the first thing is to go learn. We talk about it, find books about it, read about it. In fact, the best form of book is someone is already doing it. Is within your reach. You can go there. Sorry, I'd like to help you, do this. How much do I? No, I don't want to pay. Let me just do. And once you join the person, you don't take it as if, oh, because they're not paying me. In fact, you try as much as possible to distinguish yourself early enough. In fact, that the person will now say, no, his conscience will say, no, I cannot not be paying this person. Or even if it's stipend, please take. But you are not even there for the stipend. You are there for the experience. And when you think you have enough experience, say, okay, thank you for allowing me to intern. I think I learned what I need. Then you go and start. And when you intern, there are things you realize that you don't need to buy to start the business. You understand? So you even spend less. So that's the way. So, and it's the same as savings. I will start tomorrow. I will start next week. Start. You might start with a smaller percentage than what you intend to start with. But what you'd have achieved is that you'd have started. At least you see how many people have savings. You put up your mind. It doesn't matter how much is in that savings. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So usually people procrastinate and then they end up not saving. Like he said, that when an opportunity to take an opportunity, you need to spend maybe like $1 million or 2 or 5 million or 10 million, and you don't have it, it means that the opportunity to save has passed. But the next thing you do is that you have to start saving because the next one actually is coming. And then some people just feel savings is too complicated. And I think it's about the simplest thing possible. It all depends on the level. At least the easiest one, which we have been talking about, which is money markets, one of the things we are really going to talk about today. And then, I talk about Alo Tele. You understand? Why earners still go broke? It's the fact that they earn a lot, but then they don't save. Because to save requires discipline and purpose. My fellow colleagues that saved 1 million, they had a purpose, right? Because they wanted to go and do masters. They wanted their parents to sponsor them. But the father said, pay it's 2 million or 2 point something. If you can raise 1 million, I'll match it with my own. So there was purpose and then the discipline. So right here, what we can learn simply is that, see, what's the goal for your savings? And then when we set money aside, we can set money aside for different things. The ones we are talking about is the money you set aside that you don't touch. Do you understand? And we said that if you ever have to touch that money, it's as if you have gone to bank, your own bank, to borrow, take loan from your own self. If you're taking money from that, you're only taking money to also invest in something else that will generate more money. And once you get your money, you pay back the loan with the interest. That's the savings we're talking about here. But you can also, and here we said we don't want to call it savings anymore. We want to call it storing. Because storing means you have stored it away. But you should also know that we can still apply the same principle to put money aside to actually pay for things. Because the easiest way for me not to touch money is that I put money for savings, I'm storing it, then I know that, okay, I pay school fees 3 times a year. You understand? So I could also set money aside for that same thing. There will be dirty December, and I want to dirty the December. I can store money away for the December. Do you understand? I like to change my wares every 6 months. Do you understand? Or you can store money away for that. But all those money you are storing is not your own money. The one that is your money is the one you save and you don't touch. In the book, Love Yourself, Pay Yourself First, a percentage was even proposed, whereby you can even start with 10%. 80%, it's assumed that 80% will cover all your expenses. Everything I've talked about, school fees, change my clothes, dirty December, everything, food, 80%. The other 20%, 10% for your savings, 10% for charity. And then as you go on and as you earn more, it's also advised, and when you are able to, because if you look at your whole expenses and everything and it's just 60%, you don't need to say because I must save 10%, I leave it as 10%. Nothing stops if you can save 30%. You understand what I'm trying to say? 40%. But at least let's start, even if it's 10%, let's save 10%. Is that, do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, what are the practical tips to start saving today? I started talking about already from the previous slide. I think you should have a goal. We've learned that success is goals. Every other thing is commentary. Now, there are two sides to it. We're talking about this, what you earn, and then you save a percentage of it. My story, I told you that I was earning a third of what I was earning in house job, and I saved $1 million. If you had done any percentage of what I earned, if I had saved all I was earning, you understand, every month, it wasn't up to $1 million. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I earned in NYC, if I saved it every month, it will not give me $1 million. But we also understand, which I just did it because of desire, but I learned after what happens that when you set your goals and it becomes your object of your desire, you understand, to the point that you affirm it or affirmations, there are things around that actually would work in your favor and present it to you. What happened to me was that I said, okay, I want to save $1 million. What I earn cannot be up to $1 million. I worked in a place where, it was also another funny story. Because the doctors there don't want to do night duty. You know, NYC corporate, they say, you don't have where to stay. We have call room. We'll give you the call room, but you do all the calls. I worked 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. for 365 days so that they can give me the call room. But me, I enjoyed it because I had accommodation free. You understand? Later you think about it, but I worked. But because I was now doing that for 1 year, and I said, I can look for somewhere I can cover money shifts. And I went around until somebody just gave me a call that they need a doctor that worked 3 days in a week, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I work from 10 till 4. So on those days, I've spoken to the other doctors, I would get there late. And then they paid me good money, more than the money NYC was paying. And that's how I was able to, what I did was, everything NYC paid was just good enough for everything. And that extra money, savings. John, but because I saved it, I actually had a goal. So I'm saying that here also, so that you don't just look at this is what I earn, this is the percentage, this is all I can save. We already know that when we talk about learning from U squared, what you desire, what you already desire, multiply it. Do you understand? And Grant Cardone in 10x said that whatever is multiply it by 10. Because the rationale behind is that once what you desire is beyond what your mind can readily show you the pathway, it lights up the desire and the fire inside of you, in which such that when there are opportunities in your environment, you'll be able to identify them. And most likely you will take those opportunities. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that way you can arrive at where you are going to. But if you can readily calculate what you want to save, based, okay, I earn currently maybe $1 million, and I want to save $1 million. It's just 10%, even less than 10%. Because 10% in 10 months, I already have $1 million. You understand what I'm saying? So if I can work that out, I probably won't want to do anything to increase my income. You understand what I'm trying to say? But even if I said, okay, I earn $1 million, and at the end of the year, I want to have saved maybe 20 million, or 30 million, or 50 million, then I have to start questioning, where is that money going to come from? So when you come to me and you're talking about something, I might not even know very well, but I'm like, I can find someone who can do this. And if I find that person and I get finder's fee, I get some more money. You understand? I'm most likely going to get into conversation with you, as opposed to when my money will get me what I want. Even when you say, oh, that's a good idea, and I walk away, I'll never think about it again. If the next opportunity comes, I'm most likely going to answer. So the first thing is, like I said, to have a purpose, set a goal. We're all here because we're raising billionaires. So our goal is to be wealthy and to be wealthy in billions. But then we understand that you gradually get there. You understand? So your goals can be small. You set the goal, and then what I'm going to talk about next is how you can help discipline you to actually maintain that savings. And that's the first one. You have to automate your savings. And from the richest man in Babylon, the first law of gold means that what? You should pay yourself first. So I gave the analogy of 80% of your earning is what will take care of every of your expenses. You understand? And then, or you set aside, it's not even about because either it's enough or not enough. Your desire is 10% savings, 10% charity, 80%, you should be fine with it. You don't save last. You save first. You don't save what is left after you have spent everything. Because oftentimes, nothing will be left. So what you do is you save first, and you can automate this. Now, even banks do that now. In fact, they've always been doing that. Whereby you can give them instructions to do a direct debit. So this is how much I want to save. Also, you know that maybe if you earn monthly, you know that your money comes in at a particular date. So you give maybe a day or 2 days later and say, on this date every month, deduct this. And then it's going to an account that you probably don't go there, or you ensure that it takes a lot to get money out of. So the first thing is you automate it. Once you get to a point, it's a mindset. Once you start, is to help you. So remove from you that you think, should I save or not save? The money is already deducted and saved for you. For some other people, at some point, once you have the mindset to save, in fact, as the money arrives, you can just go ahead and save. Another thing about savings also is that money that you don't expect, you can actually save a larger percentage of that because you didn't even know it was going to come, but a deal came or something, and then you earned some money. But what I used to do and what some people still do is that the money you don't expect is 100% for spending. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because I have said I'm going to save 10% this month. I have saved it. I have done the quota for this month. Any other one that comes. But what you fail to realize is that because of your goal to save a lot more than what your income can, that money came because of that. But then you sent the money the wrong message. Money and the Law of Attraction, that's another book here, says that no, if you save money, you will get more. In fact, the goal to wealth is saving. And as it has been described, and I think Shama described that, it's as if money will tell themselves that this person keeps us. Let's go to her. So the goal to wealth is saving. But what comes to you is not really just the value of what you have saved. What you get is more than what you have saved. And I'm going to show you today. We are going there gradually, and we'll get there. Then have a dedicated savings account. Now, talking about mutual, which I will get, and I'll still make reference to this, you might actually have accounts with their banks. We've talked about Stanbic, I think UBA does. A few banks actually, First Bank too. They have money markets. You can have a dedicated account with them, such that the money you are debiting automatically actually goes to that account. So you have to have a dedicated account. I'm sure there's nobody here that have less than 2 or 3 bank accounts. It might be up to 5 because of lack of OPay, Kuda, Money Point. Yeah, there's no way. I'm sure that we have at least 3 accounts. Okay, I wanted to say something, but there's something I used to say about OP, but they did not pay me for advert. And once I've said it, I cannot copyright it. So once I go to them, they will pay me. That's also another way to raise this money. Yes. So have a dedicated savings. It's not the account that is on your app that you can quickly do transfer. I think recently I needed to do something, and the account I used to buy, I didn't have enough. And I realized there's this account I keep, and I don't touch. Money just goes there directly. Do you know I was looking for the app on all my phone? I did not find it. I typed the name of the bank. The app did not come. I had to now start looking one announcement. And I said, because I don't search that often. It did not even show. But let me now tell you something. Because I took that money from that bank, for the next 1 week, I was going there. I put the money back. I knew I already knew where I would take the money back. But it now showed me why where you save your money should not be where you go to, because your mind just now goes there. That's where to go. Why do you want to go to the other? Just go there. That one is easy. Now, for the next 1 week, I went there like 2 or 3 times. I said, no, I have to reverse these things. So I paid back the money and forgot, and now deleted the app. Let me train my mind again to forget. So that account is what I put as emergency fund, as emergency money that you can't even, and you don't want to touch. That's what, but emergency now became regular account. So I stopped it. So I'm just saying those examples so you know that even when you train your mind, sometimes once you go there, you might start going there again. So use a dedicated savings account, and it's important to track your money with a lot of budgeting apps. Have you ever, your spending accounts, the bank used to spend, have you ever requested for statement of account and sat down with it and tried to explain every expenses? Have you ever tried to do that? Has anybody done that? Were you happy when you finished going through? You are never. Because you will now see some expenses. One, you can't even remember what it was. Then you also see expenses that you didn't need to have made. And that's why budgeting is important. And there are apps also that can help you track this thing. Budgeting is important. What you don't budget for, you don't spend money on it. For a long time, all those periods I was trying to train myself, I don't have access to my money. Like once the money comes, this one is for this money is for this. In fact, then it was even crude. I had this book in my wardrobe with envelopes. So I will withdraw the one. So this money usually per month I spend this on transport, on fuel. Because that money is kept as loose. Because that money is kept as loose money. It's not like it has any purpose. It's just there. If you don't spend it this month, it's there next month. And when somebody asks you and you look at that money, I'm like, there's this money. This person needs this money. By the time you calculate all the money you have spent, you'll be like, wow, I should go and open a bank. And the reason why I said this is what, now this is also from that book, the Richest Man in Babylon. It says, what each of us calls our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our income unless we protest to the contrary. This speaks to the law of what? Parkinson's law. You understand? Because you're earning, I know we used to think about it. If you look at your story and trajectory, when you're earning a particular amount, like you can manage it. When the money increases, your taste will increase. Is that you realize that 1 cube of sugar is not enough for a cup of tea? Or there is brown sugar now. You understand what I'm trying to say? You start to, because you're naturally, and you call it necessary, it will rise to match the income. But if there's because, and one of the things I learned when I was working with Dr. Abib then is, he told us when there was increment in salary, he said, you should not, because if they did not increase the salary, would you not live off the previous salary? But now they've increased the salary. This increment should be savings. Or then they pay commissions too. This commission, because it's not part of your earning, it should go into savings. And that's the way we should think when we have an increment. Yes, after a while you want some comfort. You understand? Which I would not say you should not look to, because sometimes you work a lot and then you're getting money for it. And but it has to be, you can work in terms of percentages. You understand? This new increment, maybe I'll take 50% of it and save. Then the remaining 50%, I'll add it to my other expenses. Now, I'm going to be getting anecdotes from that book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Make thy gold multiply. I think this is the 4th law or 3rd law, I can't remember, of third cure to a lean purse. There are laws and then there are the cures, 7 cures to a lean pulse. If you have not read that book, please go. It's a small book. It's small. You can, in one sitting, you can finish the book. So, how do you make your gold multiply? So many ways. We've talked about different things. We talked about setting up businesses and all. But today we are talking about savings, right? And the way you can make your savings multiply is what we're going to talk about: money markets. Now, we grew up with savings accounts. I don't know if there's anybody who gets any interest from a savings account, but I realized they give you. That account was what made me realize, but it's small. Because if you don't make withdrawals more than 4 times, they will give you your interest. I never knew that until that account that I did not touch. I now saw interest. I say, bank, they give you interest. You're ahead because you do not, yes. So that's why, but even that interest is, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. I don't know what that percentage is, about 3 or 4. Depends. No, I'm talking about the interest. Oh, determines the percentage they give you. Yeah, but even that one is still not. Yeah, it's fixed though. It's fixed. But you know, we have different banks now, and I realized that depending on the bank, don't advertise. I'm not advertising anybody. But the truth is, whatever it is, I don't think it's more than 5%. We're offering you times 4 or more of that. I'm not even offering, I'm telling you about what. So, money market, and we try to definition here, is a type of mutual fund that invests in short. So the first thing is short term, usually less than a year, and high quality and low risk debt securities, such as treasury bills, commercial paper, and certificates of deposit. I'm going to talk about them. Now, 2 things I like about it: short term, high interest. Who does not like that? Sorry, short term, high interest, low risk. Low risk is important because there are some people that can give you high interest but high risk, and they tell you from day one that is high risk. I don't know how people will hear high risk and still, I don't want to be judgmental, but I'm a low risk. So it also depends on your risk appetite and risk tolerance. Yes, people have done high risk and then they chop and then they go. Like some people actually in CBEX made money because they understood how it works, and they were early. The guys that entered early, because you see the late comers, they use your money to pay, like my own 250K. They used to pay that all those millions and all of that. So we're going to be looking at their examples: treasury bills, commercial paper, certificates of deposit. I look at the mutual funds and all, fixed deposits, which I'm sure a lot of us. So we'll look at them one after the other, look at their characteristics, and then we'll move on. Now, this is a table to explain the different ones. I picked out commercial paper, treasury bills, fixed deposit, mutual funds. So yesterday they talked about this particular table, and actually I was part of a joint on virtually, and the deputy governor of she's not paying me for this advert, but let me say for Ibadan, her nickname is Money Queen. She's a financial person. She actually owns a financial institution that helps people earn more money. She's not paying for the name of this thing, but I will still say later she will pay me once you guys go, and we all have to make money. So she put up this table, and I liked it, and I think just talking about this table will tell us almost everything we need to know about money markets. And then we're going to look at different ones under this feature, looking at these features. Who issues it? When does it mature? Maturity means when you get your money back. The risk level, like we talked about. The returns, how you get your money. Either they take everything and they give you with interest, or they discount it by keeping the interest there and then giving you the money. And then I'll explain that anyway. Then liquidity, your access to your money. How quickly can you get your money? You understand? So that's liquid. Then accessibility. How do you access if you want to? Can you apply for it yourself? Will you go through institutions? So let's start with commercial paper. We talked about treasury. Okay, let me start from fixed. I'll go fixed, treasury, commercial papers, then come back to mutual funds. So fixed deposit, we probably all knew that growing up and all. Fixed deposit means that you go, oh, this is my money. I want to fix it for this particular period. It might be 1 month, 30 days. It might be 180. It might be so 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or even 1 year. And I think the interest you're given depends on how much money you're fixing and for how long you want to keep the money with them. So that one you go, and like I said, the usual for that are commercial banks or financial institutions. So you approach them. I have 10 million, I have 15 million. I want to keep it with you for 6 months. How much interest are you going to give me? And one of the things you can meet with different banks and see the ones that would offer you the better, yes, the higher interest. And then you look at the kind of financial institutions, if they're not just banks. And then the risk level is low. But actually depends on the institution stability. So most likely, of course, you go to recognized banks and institutions that that, okay, possibly, of course, your money, but the risk is actually low. The interest is fixed. So whatever interest you're giving from start is the interest you. So if they're giving you 8%, 9%, 10%, that's the interest. So 8% or 9% interest, well, is calculated based on the money you're giving to them. And then the penalty, of course, so it's fixed, and the time is also fixed. If you apply to withdraw, there's penalty. Sometimes it's like a 1% or 2%, depending. It might be the percentage on the interest, or there might even be percentage even on the money you're fixing with them. So the idea really is that once liquidity here is low, like I said, liquidity is the probability you can get your money when you need it before maturity. You understand what I'm saying? So that's when we talk about liquidity. When it's low, it means that the chance of getting your money is quite low until the date that is agreed upon. If you have to withdraw or break it, then there are penalties to be paid. And then, of course, you open directly with banks. You're the one that walks to the banks and you can do this. And that's why I picked that first. Then let's look at treasury bills. We've talked about treasury bills here before. So treasury bills is the government borrowing money from you. So government will borrow money for different reasons. But government needs money, they can borrow. If there's too much money in circulation, they can come and use it to mop up the money. And treasury bills, it's also could be 3 months, 6 months, or it could also be for 1 year. And the treasury bills they have a quoted interest. They might not even pick this the interest. So it's like you come to government and say, I want to give you 50 million, but I'm giving it to you at 17% interest. Some other person will say 16%, some will say 20%. And then when they look at the amount of money they want, they start from the lower interest. If they get to 18% to get all their money, you that said 20%, they probably might not take your own money. They take the other ones that are lower than that. And then the way it's done, of course, is very low. It's backed by governments. Governments will not hold you, they will pay. Don't think about the kind of government. Just know that government will not hold you, they will pay you your money. Don't be afraid. Thank you very much. Last, they go and print your money and give it to you. Do you understand? And then the return type is discounted. So if it's agreed that, let's say 20%, and I'm giving 10 million, 20% will be 2 million interest, Abi? Yes, 2 million. No. How much am I giving? 10 or 20? 20. I said 20, so it's 4 million. So what it means is, you see that 4 million, so what in my account, they'll just take 16 million and leave that 4 million. That's why I say it's discounted. That's what it means. So, but at the end of the term, they will give me back 20 million. Does it make sense? So you get that. So that's what they do. Yes. And then liquidity is high. So yes, you can actually, and this you can actually do it through your banks and then brokers. So sometimes some people actually, if they want their money, they can actually trade before maturity because somebody else still might buy up over your fund, so you get your money and all of that. Then we talk about commercial papers. Now I did this one last year, matured in May. I was so happy. The return was good. You understand? So commercial papers is the issuers are large credit-worthy corporations. So so myself and a few friends, we saw it. We had some guy from a bank come to talk to us and all. And then I think we looked at 3. It was MTN, it was Dangote, and then it was one other, I don't know their names. But MTN was giving, so I'm not sure. So everything between MTN and Dangote was between 27, 28, 29%. Those other guys were giving 35%. I did not go there. I don't know them. I did not go there. So there's a valuation of the corporation. There's a valuation. They tell you, I think it's either grade A or a B or a C. That tells you the risk level. So I think those guys were C or something. So I did not, but I did, and when the money, and I did the calculation that what I got, because we did 9 months, but what came back was more than what Mutual was giving me for a whole year. I know the natural, I say, let me put more, but I've learned to, once that spirit comes, calm down first. Look at it's my first time or not. So Dangote wants to raise money. It's just where bank wants, government wants to raise money. They can actually, they've attained that status. They're allowed to actually raise commercial papers. So commercial paper is like the evidence of the money you have given to them. So it could be 1 month, 270. Like I said, we did 270 days. I think that's 9 months. And then it could be 6 months, it could be 3 months. But those that want to collect, like they will come and tell you that, okay, we want to raise this, is at this percentage and it's for this duration. I think they gave the option of 6 months and 9 months. And I think the interest for 9 months was more than that of 6 months. Yes, I think that's how they did that. And also, of course, it could be either discounted, like the treasury bills, or it could be they take the whole money and give you back your money with interest. You now understand what discounted means. Okay. And then, of course, liquidity is moderate. It's also the same thing. If through your brokers, you can actually trade it. Usually, you can actually trade from someone else who wants to come in and all. Then it's done through investment banks and brokers. Apart from fixed deposits, I think the other ones, you can't do them directly. But you can walk into your banks and ask them about this. You actually can. And then the last one is mutual funds. And mutual funds basically is a combination of all of this. So mutual funds is different financial papers, different ways of high interest and sometimes high risk. And if you're doing mutual fund, for those of us that do, they have different. Money market is the lowest risk. You understand? There are different ones that you can actually do, and they tell you the risk level for that. But what mutual fund does is that your bank, your fund managers, they actually have a portfolio of different high interests savings schemes, or either treasury bills, fixed deposits, bonds, and the likes. I think we talked about bonds too last year, right, where I gave an example. So what the interest you get is an average of all the interest. And then, of course, they might be a bit lower than what they are getting because it's still business. You understand what I'm saying? But the advantage of this is that you don't have to maybe do so much of worrying about going. They do all those things to pick the ones, and then they have different levels. That's what I'm saying. The one you pick, they will tell you low risk, this one is low, moderate, you understand, this high risk. So depending on what you want, then you pick it, and then so they know that if I picked high risk, they know the kind of instruments they can use my money to trade. Because you have not, we've not talked about stocks and all those ones. Those ones are not, they do not qualify as short-term, high interest, low risk. Those are the three qualities we're actually looking at to talk. That's why we picked this one. I think the issuers are your fund managers. They are regulated by the SEC. Because maturity is open-ended. We know that. And that also speaks to liquidity. It's very high. So you could start like, okay, the one I do, you cannot withdraw any money that is more than, if you save, you must leave it for, I think, about 10 or 20 days. I don't look at that because I don't go to withdraw. But let's say it's 20 days. If I save, let's say the money is like 200 million right now, then I saved 20 million, makes 220 million today. If I go there tomorrow to withdraw 50 million, I won't face any penalty. Because especially if that 200 million was saved a long time ago. Because this 20 does not, 50 is still less than 200. You understand what I'm saying? But if you want to withdraw something like 210, then there will be a penalty. Because as at 20 days ago, it was not 210, it was 200. You understand? But it's very high, such that if you're not taking anything more than, if different banks have their penalty and their rules, you understand? So it's very high. You can take your money, depending on if you actually play by their rules. Then risk is low to moderate. Then the interest is quite flexible. The interest here is flexible because the mutual funds rates today might be different from yesterday. You understand? Like month on month, I think last month, I think it was coming to about 20, you understand? And we've had last year, we had like 24, 28, you understand? So it varies. And that's why sometimes when you put your money here, you don't just go to, you actually watch. It's your newspaper, you understand, to see where you are and how your interest is coming in. Because it's also true, fund managers, of course, we have a lot of apps now through which you can actually get into mutual funds. And the beautiful thing is, I think entry point is like 5K. 5,000 naira, you can actually get into mutual funds. So really, we don't have any excuse not to actually have at least mutual funds. I've been doing mutual funds for years. Okay, no need. I've been doing for 4 years. And then, of course, like I said last year, I took some from here. I did commercial paper. I took it back. Take it back so that we not go and. I didn't even think of, you can even add this interest. Let me know. Just put everything back. Like I said, it takes mindset. And we understand this. If there's any question, we'll take that later. So I explained all of that. So some of these slides I might be a bit fast so how does the market works? So look at this picture. I've talked about this. They are short-term financial instruments. I've explained less than a year. High liquidity, you can get your money. You understand? Then low risk investment, they are regulated by central bank. Of course, you have institutions that participate in them. And then, of course, if I say short-term borrowing and lending, so you are the lender. You understand? You are the one lending. So you lend, versus the borrowers are the banks and the government. That's how it works. You are lending those institutions. We tell you not to borrow your friends' money. We advise you not to borrow, because money borrowed to friends can end the friendship. Do you understand? Except money that you are willing to let go. You are just saying, let me borrow it so that next time they will not come. But you can borrow banks, they will pay you back, the institutions and the government. And then the interest, it's important things you look at. What's the interest rates? So you have the choice to actually ask different institutions, see what their interest rates, and then decide to choose the higher one based on their stability. You understand? Like when I talked about the commercial paper, I don't know their name because I don't even know them. I chose one that is about 7% less. But I know everybody, I mentioned MTN that everybody knows. Then what are the pros? Because safe, is predictable, and then it's short term. The cons might be, if you consider them, that returns are lower in terms of you're looking at stocks, and then in terms of inflation risk and all of that. And yes, so okay. So now I think this is also important, because you're looking at, even though we're saying it's savings, what you're doing is investing. It's an investment. What we're doing, basically, it's an investment. It's like you have opened another, like Dr. Olamide said, it's like you opened another business. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If I probably want to start another hospital now, I'm going to spend a lot of money, from building to equipment and all of that. If I take all of that money and then put it in mutual funds at 20%, and I'm getting profits from it, when I do my maths, you understand? It might not be as high as when the business succeeds, but you don't even know. Do you understand? So let's look at high best case scenario. Let's look at mid case scenario. It means that without having to hire and fire, without having to deal with regulatory bodies, without have to customers that will call you, utility bills, medical legal cases, without having to do that, I have a third business, and it's stress-free. I'm not going to any office. Do you understand? I don't. Thank you. All I need to do is to put the money there. So it's, as much as we say it's savings, is an investment, because the money is not just going to be the same amount of money. It's generating interest, and I'll show you that as we go on. Now, what I'm going to show you will talk because some people come and talk about inflation, and I explain how inflation can be erased. This money market can swallow the inflation if we are investing regularly and strategically. So how do we start? I've talked about the borrowers, of course, could be like mutual funds, could be financial institutions or fintech apps. So these are some examples of commercial banks and a few that you must have heard about. In fact, my journey into mutual funds, okay, first was the bank, then that money was liquidated and the reason why I'm proud to say I did not liquidate to spend. I liquidated to start our first business hospital. You understand? Then, of course, we started with PiggyVest and all of that, and then with much more understanding and then looking at interest rates and all, and my understanding of it and how ready I am for it, I've then engaged other commercial banks, other financial institutions. So you can use these trusted apps. They're actually insured, and then your money actually is safe. And then you choose the instrument based on your savings goal and your risk tolerance. But here, our goal, whatever you want to save, but we're looking at low risk, high returns. Yes. And then, like I said, you compare interest rates. You read the fine print. You can actually approach most of a good number of the banks you mentioned, commercial institutions, and then ask questions. You understand? Then it's easier for you to make your decision. So what they're doing for you, of course, is trading, money market they use, and all of that. And then your savings plus trading, it's like your investment. What it does, it gives you financial leverage. So you build your capital with savings and grow it with smart, low risk investments. So we're getting capital from earnings, from business, from different things, but then you want to grow it. The money tree that will give you fruits, then is from this smart, low risk investment. Yes, this is where the rubber meets the road. It's plenty. Let me warn you, there are still more slides after this, like this. There are some people that once they see number, they are not happy. Is that how much you hate mathematics? Okay, don't worry, you get the slides. You have it. Now, this is an hypothetical situation. We're looking at an investment grown over 10 years with consistent savings and reinvestments. So this particular Mr. Tayo decided that he's going to save 100K per month. And then we use an average of 18. We know it's not even 18, it's more than 18. Of 18% per annum and compounding it yearly without touching it for 10 years. What happens is, now, this is compounding yearly. The mutual funds you have now is compounded sometimes monthly or quarterly. If it's compounded monthly or quarterly, it will even give you more than this. But let's just say we're compounding yearly. It means that at the end of year one, 100,000 every month will give 1.2 million, right? The interest that year is 117,000. If you add both of them, so total deposit that year was 1.2, is 1.317. Look at what happens. Usually, depending on how it's compounded, usually happens around year 7 or year 8. But look at year 8. Total money, total of all the 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, 1.2 was what? 9.6. What is the interest? Around year 7 or year 8, the interest overtakes what you have deposited. Always. Always. You can get loan calculators and do it. It's usually around year 7 or year 8. I always say year 7 is where the magic happens. And once it overtakes it, it can never catch up with it again. Look at year 9, 14, as opposed to what? It's not like they saved 10.8 in 1 year.
9 years.
Do you understand? So total, so cumulatively 14. Year 10, 18 million. While total money saved is what? 12 million. Look at this. So we did a pictorial representation of the money deposited as vis-a-vis the interest generated. So after 10 years, 61.26% of the money was from interest, while 38.74 was from the money deposited. What do you think happens after 30 years? Okay, don't worry, let's just jump. Let's leave all the 30 years. Our gas crossed 1 billion. Do you understand? 30 years across 1 billion. That 1 billion is 36 million. Thank you. 1 billion, 5 million. Look at it. This is the deposit. Koni Kamako percentage. You get it. 100,000 every month. 30 years. We might say, maybe we should go to universities and teach this. This thing is important. This thing is, let's be real, is easier. You understand? For people who just started earning. Because you probably have like 30, 35 years of active service. Right? But that's because we said 100,000. What if we are putting 200,000? What if you can now put 300,000? Do you understand what I'm saying? The year to 1 billion is shorter. Do you understand? But I think 100,000, based on at least someone working within the first few years, probably might be able to put that aside. Now, what if it's 50,000? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm just using 100,000. Somebody might say, I can do 50,000. That's why I say start. Because once you start with 20,000 or 10,000, you see the interest. And once you earn more, we're like, if this 10,000 is giving me this, if I multiply it by 2, this is what it becomes. You understand? That's how I enter mutual funds. I put small money. When after 1 month they gave me, and I multiply it by 10 because I can put times 10. This is what I'll be getting. I put it. And it helped build that mindset. Started because I was not like, so I can put more. I can put more. And you find out that you start to earn more. Because the law of money and the law of attraction will come to play. Because it's helping you store money. It's helping you not touching the money. You are happy at the interest, but you are leaving it there. You know what usually happens? Why this person might, in our day and time, might not get 1 billion in 30 years. Once he gets to maybe here, because he now has 30 million. Do you understand? He feels that this is my car. Do you understand? Because the thing is to do, because probably as it moves on, because this is year 10. By year 10, it probably earns enough not to save 100,000. You understand? So even if it sticks to 100,000, I'm not even saying save more. It means money from other things could have been saved to buy the car. I'm not saying don't buy car. That's why I said that savings is not to touch, but you can also keep money for other things. They can also still be in the mutual fund, generate high interest, and then use it for the other thing. Do you understand? So who will come and tell me inflation will catch up with this? Do you understand? So the question about inflation, which I hear many times, has nothing to do with this, because you get two advantages. One is that the high interest will give you this. Secondly, the money and law of attraction will attract more earnings to you. That obliterates any form of inflation that is going on. So let's look at common mistakes. And I think I said some of them while we're talking. Don't go and put your emergency funds in, let's say, fixed deposits that if you now need the emergency funds, you cannot reach it. So I think we have to be methodical, systematic, and strategic about this thing. You understand? Not just get up caught up in the emotions of it. That's why I said that thing, because we practically do those. We do that. This is the money I'm saving, I'm not touching. This is the money I'm keeping aside for this. This is the money I'm keeping aside. So I want to buy a car next year. I'm just thinking, the car is 50 million. Okay, I want to start saving this year or 2 years before. I can still put it in a mutual fund, but I know that one in 2 years, I want to get it to see, okay, what car can I buy? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But I've never started saving, but the money I'm saving is to buy a car. Might not be the best. Do you get what I'm trying? So, I pay school fees 3 times a year. This is the amount. You understand? So I'll save this every 3 months, whatever it matures into. So school is every 3 months now. Yeah. So you can do it 3 months, and then you can even say you can put in those money in a way that they mature every 3 months, around the time when you have to pay school fees. So that is even called laddering. We're not going to go. It was, in fact, you could actually still go watch the YouTube video of the seminar yesterday. You could also, so laddering is also, you've done your investment and you spaced it such that when it matures, some of us do it with Ajo. Abi? Some people are in 3 or 4 Ajo, right? It's the same thing I'm saying. So one Ajo is coming, will come around March, because you know that April you will pay school fees. You understand? Another Ajo is maturing for the one that is in the hair. It's still the same. You can even do that with mutual funds. And the advantage of this one is that you have more interest. I don't think Ajo gives interest. Ajo doesn't. But I just have got an idea now. Maybe I should be the one collecting. I'll know, not collecting first. I'll be the one organizing it. When people give me your money, I'll go and put it in. No, I can't work now. Because once you pay out. That's dead on arrival. No idea. Yes.
To collect the money and fix it.
Okay.
So the first portion you fix it.
Okay, your own.
Oh yes.
You be the first person to collect. Yes. Oh, okay, yes. Thank you, sir. Then please, you don't chase unrealistic returns like that one I did, because I didn't know anything. How did I think that? What business are they doing that they're giving me 20% every month? Even me, sir. I know most times, I'm be honest, because I can say because I've fallen victim. Is inexperience and greed. You understand? Yes, 240% per annum. So let's avoid unrealistic returns, because whatever what you get is unrealistic results. So once they tell you, they'll promise you some percentages that does not fit into what's going on. Then, because the question is, what business are you doing that's going to generate that much interest so that you can give me 20% every month? And then, please, like I said, you don't just keep it aside and walk away. Review the rates regularly, because especially like mutual funds, it varies. You actually review it from time to time. It was in reviewing that I left one financial institution and joined another, because I realized that the disparity was as much as 6%. And you're naturally, after I calculated, I took small, I put there, and now did multiplication. Now start getting phone call. We have not seen you for some time. You cannot see me. Yes, so I decided to put the 5 laws of gold from the richest man in Babylon, because some people might still not go and read it. So let me just. So the first one says, the first law: gold comes gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. We've talked about all these things. I just wanted to put them in these statements, make them concise. Second one, gold labors diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. I told these investments we're doing, money market is a profitable investment. So gold, which is money, would labor, you understand, and call all his family members to come and cohabit with you. Gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of wise men. There has to be wise counsel before we actually venture into it. And I think we got wise counsel today, right? Gold slips away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar, my story, or which are not approved by those skilled in its skill. Then gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who follows the alluring advice of tricksters, CBEX, and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investments. These are timeless laws. So what's our action plan? If you don't have this, open a savings or an investment wallet today. It's 5K. You understand? This kind of seminar looks like the one that should have been sponsored by one of these. They have paid me and brought refreshments. We now bring form. Oh yeah. and they'll give me percentage. I do not think this thing. I do not think about it. Well, I'm not sure I'll be the one to collect the percent. Then automate your monthly savings. Let's open an account, automate it, then open a mutual funds account. Act now. Thank you. And God bless. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. You can be seated. Please sit down, please. Thank you. I don't know if you have any question. Okay. I've answered your question. I was in the spirit. But like spirit did not catch our own question. So
Thank you for the wonderful I think it's an eye opener. Because when I joined civil service, I started cooperative. So I was doing 100K per month. And maybe after, and I don't get any. And so when I approached them, they said it's because there was no patronage for me that I did not take loan from them, I did not buy items from them. So after like 5 years, I decided to withdraw my money. Maybe like the total the interest on it less than 50,000 naira after 5 years.
wow.
Because they are still owing me up to 200,000 naira now, and they are yet to pay. Because they were still deducting after I cancelled to stop. And I just look at how much I've raised now, going by the calculation, like 3 million.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and in fact, I was about joining another one came like, we do you well, this and that. I don't think without going.
You don't even need to think. Don't go
I'm
there.
not going to anything for cooperative. So my question is, like you have given us some examples of the lively ones that we can join. And for the compound interest, I want to know, is it just the regular savings or fixed deposits?
Okay, the example I gave,
Yes.
that's mutual funds.
It's
Mutual
for
funds.
funds.
Yes. Mutual funds. And our assumption is the fact that we're using an average of 18% per annum. The interest changes now, I think it's 21 or 22% now, which is more than 18%.
Okay, so advertisement aside, as we are talking now. Because I was signed up to it.
You will see me after we're on live. But even when I tell you, still do your due. But I don't mind, but still do your own due diligence. Okay.
Another thing I want to know is all this information about money markets. Is it only on newspaper that you get it? Or where
Oh no, don't. So the apps, you will see all those things. Amanda, but I can't show you my own. But I will show you what, because you see it. You see what the interest rate is for that day. So you see, then it will show you see how much you have made for that day. It's so interesting. They'll tell you the amount of money your money made for that day, and then you see it as they're adding it together. How like the one I do, they accumulate it every quarter. At the end of one quarter, they roll it over. They start again. So you see how much you are making every day, and then they tells you. You look at it, you can calculate it yourself. So you see that real time. That's the advantage of these ones. There are apps that you will see. It's not that you go to the bank. You see it on your phone, how much you are making. Thank you. Let's clap for her. Okay.
Just want to add to request, and I don't know if it's possible maybe after the, because I think for me, they say you are not informed. You will be found. And the reason we are in gathering like this is for everyone of us to learn, to understand, to have better knowledge of what people are money. I take for example in the estate where I reside, I have a group of friends who are the estate agents. And oftentimes, you see, I live in a rented apartment and I'm having to bring that. One day, in this estate, by God's grace, maybe the next 5 years or 6 years, I'll have my own home. And just because I put it in my house, I always try to live around. But there was a property that is cheap. Then so, next year, one of the teachers who has built this it's a complete building, and one of our daughter wanted to Japan. You see the sign? So just because I have engaged all these guys around, any property, so they told me, it was on Sunday, one of them just ran to my house. But then somebody want to say something. So let's go, let me go and see. I thought we do. Presently in the estate, the plot of land is sold for 10 million. And just because of the condition, this man said, okay, if someone can give me 20 million for this.
Oh, for the building.
For the whole building. And when I look at the land is 10 million. The whole of this building, a room and parlor, self-contained, very big room. It's decking. And I call on my friend, what do you think should be the worth of this? Said it should be around maybe presently with the cost of building in
materials and
30 to 35 million. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm
Yes.
just sharing this just
Yes.
to learn that
Yes.
the importance of being informed at times.
Yes.
So eventually let's see how much it lasts. Eventually it's only about 15 million. Yes. So at times, you see, when we have, I'm just saying it to God,
Yes,
at the same time, also to seek for better knowledge from you, because from what you have said now, I think you are more versed in this money market business. I've not done much in money market, so I invest my own money in physical assets. You understand? So I'm just pleading this possible. So when we are waiting for like this, let's start.
Okay, let's start from here. So, like I said, we can have the conversation, but I'll still trying. But one thing I want to point out is he had a goal to own property, and he went about. You understand? And of course, even if they brought it to 50, if that money was not there, do you understand? So that's the point. Even it speaks to once there's a goal, when the opportunity comes, that's why they could call him to say, there's this building somebody wants to sell. And that's the importance of goals and all that. And when you look at investment, this is just looking strictly at money market. Real estate is also another form of investment. In fact, I was telling some guys by the weekend that the top guys, that the wealthiest people in the world, even Nigeria, there's none of them that real estate is not in their portfolio.
King of business.
You understand? But they are not paying me to, so I'll not talk. But real estate is also, but we could still talk so I understand your question better and all that. Real estate is good investment, but even in that area, there has people who understand it and they can teach it properly, because it's not just buying property. You can buy a bad property, it might be in a bad environment, but there's nothing also wrong against you owning where you stay. You understand what I'm trying to say? All right. And then owning the building of where your business resides. Yes, I think even Dr. Abib says that, in fact, he would prefer say you own that one first before you own the one you. But sometimes it might, based on opportunities, one might come before. All right. Okay. Mrs. Mutube.
Good afternoon, generous millionaires.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to say a big thank you to Dr. Kala. It's been an amazing session. I know you talked about it last year.
Yes.
But with this, you really explained in layman's language very well. And I hope people will take action. I first heard I started this mutual fund in 2013. Yeah, 2013. And it's been just as you said it. It's been just as you said it. And if you haven't started, please start. And the magic of compound interest, it is magic. because you get to about that, what you said, 7, 8, or 7.2
Yes.
years,
Yes.
and you just see your interest just. And please, some people tell me that what if they don't earn enough? The thing is that if you are earning less, you will survive. Yes, if you are earning less, you will still survive. So people, a lot of salary earners say the money is not enough, the money is not enough. If you are earning less, you still survive. So it has to do with discipline. You just have to discipline yourself, and there's some parts that you just have to close your eyes. It doesn't, the money is not there, as if it's not there. So a big kudos to you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, this is just my own, something that just came to me.
Last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks, we did a small party in my house, and I saw the kind of, when we were planning it, just a small birthday party for my 10-year-old. This is the amount we were spending, we agree. Only I just started seeing things coming to my compound. I saw this cloth. Who is wearing this? No, she's going to wear 3 different clothes. Okay, no problem. So a week, I didn't know that children can have mutual fund. So that's I want to bring us to our. I didn't know. All my children fund are long in a certain account. So I was just so happy. Me and lady now straight to the point that the children can just, after this birthday, next month I'm showing all this money, because it's because the money were available. If my father have kept money 20 years ago, probably by now not be. So please, let's do it for the children, so that at least, instead of why should a child wear 3 clothes on the birthday, you should have done with one. And let me tell you one thing I learned when I spoke with the lady at the mutual fund, something that the best time to shit those children is now. Because, I mean, if you wear only one cloth, he will still dance with his friend. There's a time he's going to get to that he will really know he's being cheated. So please, all those money we're throwing, especially I'm talking of women, because I can't buy, I mean, you will see the clothes were just coming, everybody, even the one they buy, and I said, well, please, let's not be wasters. Let's keep those money for, and we have seen it, this thing I've seen, I mean, there's no excuse for any of us not to be billionaire.
It's not even this.
Oga has made it. I mean, Dr. Yusuf has made it easy for us. You can see it now. You can see somebody helping you to carry load, and you are just a finger on it. And I pray God will help us. Thank you very much.
After her. Okay.
I want to contribute to what Dr. Yusuf has been saying. Thank you very much for the class. I told myself I won't miss this for anything. I remember sometimes last year, my first contact with mutual fund, it was Dr. Yusuf. We had a training one day and he posted this compound interest thing. I couldn't sleep. Because, anyway, I studied pure and applied mathematics. So I would say I am very good with figures. So I started calculating. You know, if you remember very well, that day I asked you to please post it. I needed that table, which you posted on the group. I kept calculating and calculating. And I was like, I'm a businesswoman, I am into buying and selling. So I will tell you that trading, I will say I understand it to a large extent. But this, I have never seen before. And, you know, the curiosity, trust me, you know about something, I will disturb your life till you answer me. So I became a pest. I was bothering him until he gave me the answers. And then one day, after all he told me, I went to a bank. The bank he told me, because we don't want to advertise. So I went to that bank and I asked who was in charge of mutual fund. I had that guy sit with me for like nothing less than 45 minutes. Because I allowed him and then I started asking my questions. And I now discovered that what they are talking about, it is a low risk. Don't tell me it is low risk.
It is no, actually.
It is a no risk. You are telling me to bring my money, put the money down, and then you'll be doing the work. Moi will be collecting the interest. Omo, I know what I do. If I don't remember anything, I know I have to carry cartons until I was warned to stop lifting a certain weight. And then, if I have to get somebody to carry those cartons of products for me, I have to pay them, pay some people to do the carrying. And now somebody is telling me I don't have to carry carton. Even the apartment business, some customers will give you some kind of headache that you can't describe. I had one that decided that anytime he comes to the apartment, because he has paid me, when he is going out, he will leave everything electrical on. As in the TV, the AC, the fridge, the micro, everything, he will switch it on. Because I'm somebody that checks, and I confronted him one day. Unfortunately for me, he stayed for like 10 days. I confronted him one day and he said, I have paid you. I can leave the light on for as long as I like. Plus including outside compound, the compound lights. So you see, you have so many customers. And so I don't have to go through all of that headache, and this can be done. Honestly speaking, I started searching. And I am somebody that if I know about something, I will tell everybody that cares to listen. Because, permits me, Yoruba says that Ajoje Odun, Tenikan Obani. If you have friends and they are not wealthy, you are also a poor person. So the more rich people you have around you, the better for all of you. So I kept telling my friends. So I have this friend that now said, Folake Sogundogoji. The moment I showed him that table, I still have that table with me. The moment I showed him that table, he now said Sogundogoji. At that time, that bank that we used to use, I could screenshot my app. So what I did for those friends after I started mine was that I now screenshotted my own app and showed them what I got in a short space. I said, this is a normal bank. And this particular bank is actually an international bank, not even a Niger bank. So what are you thinking? I said, so I have done my part of giving you that information. But please do me a favor. Do not say because I screenshotted my app and sent to you, I cannot borrow you money. That's my own policy. The moment I tell you how I make money, you are not interested in it, I am the last person you should think of when it comes to the fact that you want to borrow money, because I shall not borrow you. Go and look for the money where they have told you not to make money. You understand? So please, everybody, just like she said, take action. Like now, if you ask me, if you have the opportunity, leave this place like this and go to the bank and get it done. As for my children too, they are account holders. And our agreement, especially the ones in uni, is that after I've opened it for you, see, 5K pere from your pocket money every month. It won't kill you. Be putting it there. The only thing I owe you is to open it for you for the first time. I'll put the initial money, but subsequent money by yourself. Be putting it. And honestly speaking, I am so happy that she came with me again today. I'm sure that when she gets home, they are going to have another meeting, because I know they do meet amongst themselves. And then it will get. In fact, now she understands why I opened it. She understands it better. Because I'm sure that when I was on their case to fill the details, because I just told the bank lady to chat with them, get it open. When they open it, give me the details to put in the initial money. I'm sure by now she understands better what it means. So please, nobody should joke with this. It is no risk, and you are going to bed and making money.
Thank you once again for the good presentation. Please, could you just repeat your experience of taking part of your money from mutual benefit to commercial paper, and I said you made more profit, and you now take it back? Why don't you rest more where you make more profit? What is the reason why you
Okay,
don't
why,
lean
why?
more there than?
I mean, low. So what happened is there's this spirit. So I wanted to tame the spirit first. So it was a trial for me, and it worked well. And from what I've explained to you, that I also have heard today, it shows it's a no-brainer. So, and commercial papers is not like it comes. So it's when the companies want to borrow, they will call for funds. So when it comes again, is when you then now decide to go for it. But the first thing I told myself is collect it first, rest. Look at everything again and go. But you are right, sir. Commercial paper gives more. You understand? Then if you have enough money that you can go for that, then it's not a problem. But the beautiful thing of what I'm doing, or what it would look like, is commercial paper comes maybe every 9 months, 6 months. While you're waiting for the next one, it goes back to mutual fund, is earning. When they call for it again, you can go back. You understand, sir? So I think that's what I would just do. But for me, I just wanted to know when something is sweet. So it's sweet. This one is sweet and good, but sometimes your mind, then watch it first before you hear. But the banks, the companies like the ones I mentioned, and the other, and it's not all companies are allowed to actually sell commercial paper. It's not all companies, they rate them. So depending on the one, so that's a way the government too is helping to safeguard and regulate that thing. Okay, I think the last, you still want to go ahead?
What I wanted to ask earlier is that how do you, when you are a salary earner, it's easier for you to estimate your percentage. So, but I think what you said and answer the question, and maybe you can just have a fixed amount like every month. So I wanted to ask that how can a business owner automate his or her own for investment?
Yes, so she's answered that. And the other thing you could do is it depends on how, because when you get your profit, you can determine that a percentage of your profit goes into. You understand? So sometimes there are people, for me, sometimes I do it weekly. At the end of the week, there's a way we separate all these things. After separating, this is the percentage that should go to mutual, it goes straight to mutual fund. If you want to do it at the end of the month, it's fine. But for business people, most likely it's going to be percentages, because your earnings is not fixed. You understand? Or you could also do a minimum of a particular amount, which is also a way of setting a goal. Because what I did last year was to say, okay, I want to be saving this every month. At the time, what we're earning would have made it difficult to save that. But it's also part of this goal that we're setting. But the beautiful thing is that by the second quarter, we're able to start saving that money. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's an application of two of the principle of goal setting with affirmation. You understand? And this principle of saving is what I applied, and then we're able to do that. So it's something you could also apply. All right, I think we've exhausted that, and we still have Mrs. Folake to take us on the health segment. Please, let's show her to come forward.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again. How are we doing as regards our health? January, we talked about. How are you doing with water? Improving gradually, right?
Yes.
And February we did.
Sleep.
How well are you sleeping? Please, be intentional. Be intentional with your sleep. Okay. And our third month, we talked about what?
Exercise.
Are we trying to use the stairs more?
Yes.
And dance, yeah?
Yes.
And the fourth month?
Nutrition.
Okay. What are you doing with that? I'm just trying to do a recap. And last month we talked about. I hope you are trying to avoid it. Stress. It was stress last month. All right, today I'll be talking about something that I'm sure some people here, you've never tried it. It's not difficult, though. And that thing is very simple. Body massage. Who has ever gone for body massage? Eh? Please. Sir? It's not a women thing, no. Sir. I said something last month. So, I said something last month. Everything is not about taking medication.
In my area, sorry, somebody said 5K. In my area, they are saying 5K.
See, please, if they tell you 5K, run, no. If they tell you 5K, run. No. Actually, body massage is something that is very, very important. I tell you what, you can actually have it and not have to use a painkiller. For those that usually have joint issues, honestly, try it. There are different types though, but let's start with what can it even do for you? All right? When you do body massage, one thing is certain. After that massage, your blood flow will improve. The circulation of blood in your body system will improve. From the little I learned from my business, there is something that the Chinese call the meridian points in our body. Some people actually have stroke because blood is not flowing to some parts of their body. So anytime you have a massage, it helps to increase your blood flow to so many parts of your body. So that is actually very important. Also, it reduces the stiffness of some parts of our body, like the joints, the knee, the ankle, your shoulder. It could be your hips or something, different parts of the body. It helps you to relieve pain that is there. And also, it makes you flexible. It helps you to be flexible. There are some parts of the massage that they will do. You will not know it is your body. In fact, anytime I want to do it, I'm always very scared, but I try to close my eyes when it gets to that because they like twist you. They can turn your shoulders to like this side and the lower part of your body to the other side. And by the time that is done, you just hear, that's your bone. Sometimes we need that happening to the body so that you can feel better. And I want to tell you one fact. They're not born you well. Do massage, finish, you won't sleep. You will sleep like somebody has given you some sleeping pills. It improves your sleep quality. So for that, you that is not sleeping very well, you need to try out the massage. It relieves stress, pain management. I can go on and on and on with that. But there are different types. And they all cost different amounts of money. But what I will warn you for is that if you will not make out time to sleep, please don't try deep tissue massage. Deep tissue, the moment they finish, it will be as if they just finished beating you. Yes. But what that means is that as soon as you are done, please go and sleep. Because by the time you wake up, that is when you will have the relief that the massage has actually done to your body. There are some, they call it hot stone massage. The hot stone massage is something that they do to help you relieve pain in some parts of the body. They have these small flat stones. There's like a box that they put it in and, use it to, they plug it, it becomes hot. Not hot enough to burn your skin, but they use that to massage your body. And please, even if you don't go to a professional, for any time you want to go for a massage, have a steam bath before the massage. The steam bath will open up your pores, your skin, and it will allow the massage oil enter all the parts of your body very well. I am somebody that after so much stress, I don't miss it. I go for a massage. In fact, the moment I'm having pains in some parts of my body, the only thing I want to do is go for massage. Honestly, it is not about being rich. You are the one working. Abi, take care of yourself. When people come with responsibilities of 20,000, 30,000, don't you do it? Please spend that 20,000, 30,000 to take good care of yourself. You will not die if you do it. And how often should you do it? It now depends on your body and affordability. It is actually recommended that if your work is the type that is very stressful, if you can do it once a week, there's nothing bad in it. If you can do it once a month, there's nothing bad in it. The worst case scenario, once in a quarter. In fact, I tell people, decide that I want to give myself a treat that is going to be once a month. Once a quarter rather. That once a quarter treat, save up for it, pay for it, and get it done. All this money that we are trying to make, let us use long life and good health to spend the money. Because you cannot be calculating all these millions and billions of naira, and you don't want to spend just 30, 35,000 or 20,000 on yourself. For those that believe that massage is for women, the answer is no. There are male people, men that do massage for man. Female do for women. And guess what? You don't even have to be stark naked to get it done. There's a way they cover you to get it done. I remember one day I went for the massage session and I told myself I had so much to do that day. I would just do what I need to do and then leave. Guess what? I slept off for like an hour immediately after the massage. And of course, the lady just left me until I came out by myself that I'm awake. I didn't have an idea of when I slept off. Trust me, it's an amazing experience and you actually need it at every time of your life. Once a quarter, we'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are here for the first time.